Alright, I'm as nervous as all hell right now. Now, my transmitter and receiver are already binded. I already tested that with the servo. What I'm doing is I'm checking this whole, XLX2 motor thing to be sure I don't have a problem. I had this plugged into CastleLink on my laptop, and it turns out that this XLX2 was produced August of this year, which is down the line afterwards from when the new firmware was updated on April. And there hasn't been any content on YouTube about anybody having any problems with the XLX2 or having any fires since the last 8 or 9 months. Ever since the new firmware update on April, there hasn't been any problems with anywhere. There are 3 batch numbers that are responsible for the 5% that were defective with the misaligned bus bars, and this lot number that I have here does not match with any of those 3, so I know this is not a product with misaligned bus bars, and it was also manufactured after the fact, with the whole issue in the firmware, so this is good. When I had it running through CastleLink, this already came with the new latest version already installed in it. I didn't make any changes. I didn't change any parameters. I did not change any settings. Everything is exactly the way it was. All I did was increase the BEC voltage output to 7.5 volts. And I increased the LiPo cutoff so I don't drain my LiPos too low. That's all I've done. On the RADIOLINK remote, I have not changed any of the parameters. I didn't change the slope. I didn't change the angle or the rate of anything. I left everything as is so I can get the full experience for Castle the way it is with the factory settings before I change anything. I got my motor hooked up, ABC to ABC. All right. I have my censored cable all the way in. My solder work, I don't have footage or pictures of it now, but trust me, it is perfect. When you do a good solder job, you're gonna have a chrome puddle. It looks like a mirror and it's fully saturated. So I have a lot of experience soldering, so take my word for it. Positive to positive, negative to negative. I didn't solder anything backwards. Okay. Nervous as fuck. These batteries are not charged all the way, but they're charged up to 4 volts. So it's enough to mess around with this and see what's going on. So I'm powering everything up for the first time. And what this tells me to do, it says this wire is actually the wire that you use to plug into CastleLink. And it's telling me to plug this into channel 2, which is throttle. And then the actual auxiliary, which typically would go to channel 2, says plug it into 3 and 4. So that's probably just to provide power to the ESC. And because we're turning this on for the first time, we're going to be calibrating the ESC to the remote. So high quality connectors, connect your motor, check your driver's thing, whatever, to be sure you're doing it right. Plug the receiver wire into throttle 2 and the auxiliary into 3 and 4. This is actually your CastleLink wire. This is in 2 and auxiliary is in 4. So you can see it here, CastleLink, because it's orange, is in number 2 and the auxiliary is in 3. And I have my servo in channel 1, which is the way it goes. I'm powering this up for the first time. And what it says to do: radio on, battery plugged in, ESC off, hold full throttle, turn ESC on, the light's going to be green. When it flashes red, you go to full reverse. When it flashes yellow, you go to neutral, and then it's ready to go. I don't think you would continue operating it from this point. I think you just turn it off and you unplug your CastleLink wire, which is your RX or receiver wire, and then plug this one back into channel 2. If I'm not mistaken. But well, We'll find out. I'm gonna do what it says. If my motor doesn't respond after it's binded or calibrated, then these wires probably need to be changed. But I don't have anything here that tells me how it should be wired. All I have is my my CastleLink wire that shows me how to plug it into CastleLink, which is this wire again. But to my understanding, that's just a programming wire. It's used for CastleLink for programming, and then it's used for channel 2 for your throttle. So I think once this is calibrated, I think you unplug this and plug the auxiliary in place of it. We'll find out right now. Nervous as all hell. I've never done this before. I never had any Castle products. This is nerve-wracking. And these QSA connectors are tight, man. Plugging that in was difficult. If I have to unplug that in a state of emergency, it's gonna be really hard to unplug it. Oh, Lord. Full throttle. Okay, something went wrong. Something didn't go right. Hold full throttle, turn EC on, green LED. When red light flashes, go for reverse. When yellow light flashes, go to neutral. Something ain't right. I'm doing what it says. I think I'm supposed to wait. Unless my receiver is supposed to have power by itself. Because my receiver doesn't turn on until the ESC is on. I think I have to wait and then go reverse. I mean full throttle. Something ain't right. Trying to calibrate this, and something is not doing exactly what I'm expecting it to do. I'm recording this right now. Hold full throttle, turn ESC on, green LED. When red light flashes, go for reverse. When yellow light flashes, go to neutral. But it's not doing that. It's going to red instead of yellow. Now it's still going yellow. Something ain't right, man. It's telling me to turn it on with this in full throttle.
You want to
So I'm turning it on. It's got green and orange. Okay, there's the green. So I go full throttle. And I go full reverse. And it's going green as soon as I go reverse. Then it's beeping red instead of yellow. Unless, you know what? Unless the this is reversed. Unless my throttle is reversed on the remote to where I'm actually going reverse and then forward, because it's asking me to do reverse twice. Let me see if I can reverse throttle. How do I reverse throttle on here? I'm gonna go reverse, channel reverse, go to reverse. Nobody can see that. Channel reverse. I'm gonna go to throttle. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna go reverse, enter, and then back out. See, now when I hit throttle, it goes to the right instead of that way. I think I needed to reverse it, but okay. It's not going all the way, it's going up to there, but these are factory settings, so that's probably what 100% is. Let's try this again. Trigger all the way down. Yeah, that's what it was. There it is. Oh, look at the motor. It's rolling a little bit. Whoa. It's going reverse a tiny little hair. I gotta adjust my trims. All right, this is either gonna catch fire or not. This is when we know if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. My wife is like, what the f? It's scary. Looks like we're good. I need to adjust my neutral position because if I touch the throttle either way, the motor goes. You see it? Need to adjust my trim. This has a little too much forward. How do I take that my trim throttle? Let me see. No. There we go. There we go. Whoo-wee. Good Lord. We did it. Calibrated. So this video was a little long and it seemed like we weren't getting anywhere, but we figured out that I needed to reverse this on here on my remote. Out the factory, I had to reverse it in order for the speed control to work properly. Not just the motor, but the speed control. Now, if the motor is going backwards, once it's assembled on the car, forward is backwards, then you gotta go in the RADIOLINK software and reverse the direction of the motor. Because this is censored, so you can't do it by unplugging the wires and reversing them. So we did it, nothing blew up. Congratulations.